Hi there and welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. My name is Chanel and I am the reader for this channel. This reading is intended for twin flames with the sign of Aries placed anywhere in your chart, so you or your twin. Now, as I'm doing your reading, I will be referring to feminine and masculine energy, but that's just for the sake of clarity so that we can tell you both apart. It doesn't mean that if you identify as one or the other, you have to look the part physically, right? Same-sex couples to just assign whatever side you need to because you know your situation, okay? Now, as I'm looking at this, Aries, I've been looking kind of at the bottom of your deck here, and it really looks like after a period of feeling like nothing was happening, something did happen, right? It looks like there was an opportunity for possibly commitment coming through on the masculine side. I think the issue, though, was the feminine didn't like the direction that the relationship was moving, because there's an energy of getting yourself into a situation with someone and then starting to feel as though you're wasting your time, or perhaps that you should have waited before you set off on this new adventure with this person, right? Sometimes this Four of Wands in the reverse can actually talk about not only canceled plans, but kind of like a fling that didn't really go the way you had hoped, right? And I'm seeing that that was not what was initially presented to you, Aries. It looked as though this was more of an offer of like, what direction can we take this in? I want to be with you. And instead it turned into something else very quickly, right? Temperance came out in the reverse with the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. So this was an ending where I feel like this is kind of on the feminine side. You decided to stop putting work into something or waiting for something. For some of you, you were really waiting to have this opportunity with the masculine, and then it finally happened. And it turned out to just be crap, okay? So here's kind of what I'm seeing is that for some of you, Aries, you may have been on the outside of a connection, watching your masculine be with someone else, and you could have been in an affair with him, right? Or maybe you were just friends, or whatever the case was. You saw him treat someone else so much better than he treated you in the time that when you finally got the opportunity to like be that other half of the connection, to be the person that he was investing in. And I feel like there's some disappointment here because you had felt like a connection finally being solidified with a commitment would change the behavior that you were seeing from your masculine. And then when you got that opportunity, you realized that the title didn't change anything at all. It didn't change the way that he treated you. There was still behavior of indecision. This person probably still ghosted or ignored you. And you were left yet again wondering, like, why am I putting work into something where it seems like there's always kind of this invisible third party? Because you're doing a lot of comparison about what you've seen your masculine give to other people that he's been in relationships with versus you, right? So as we're moving towards your spread, I'm looking at the past energy between the two of you. Now, I do see that resurgence that we were kind of talking about because we have the Four of Swords in the reverse for the feminine, as well as the Eight of Cups in the reverse. So there was a comeback around, right? But there's disappointment here. And I feel like when your masculine came in for you, Aries, because you had been really waiting and kind of hoping that when you could be in a relationship together, maybe you've been waiting for him to break up with someone, waiting for him to get over somebody. You're like, oh my God, it's going to be so great. And it didn't turn out to be so great. It's like, I feel like now, as you're looking back, Aries, at the past, you feel as though you were used, okay? With this Queen of Wands in the reverse, this is a very promiscuous energy, but this is sometimes the energy of trying to make someone jealous. So for some of you, you feel as though your person came in and they made it seem like they really wanted you, but in reality, they were just trying to make that ex that you watched them be with jealous. for others of you, if that's not the case, this is someone coming in and really like wanting to be with you 1 minute and then very quickly rescinding the offer. But they may not have told you that they weren't going to follow through. Like, they might not have even told you that they're no longer available to do all these things they said they were going to do. For some of you, you even feel like your person just came in because they wanted to have sex with you or they wanted your attention. And then when they got what they wanted, they basically just walked away, right? Which has you, feminine, feeling as though you were very vulnerable to this masculine. And he really kind of came in and played games with your heart, right? Bottom of your deck is I don't trust you anymore. And I feel like that's really based on what you've been seeing, right? The blockage here is the Six of Pentacles in the reverse and betrayal in the reverse. So this just sucks because there's this King of Pentacles energy where it's like, you're who I want. I finally made up my mind, right? Then all of a sudden, this person just goes cold and is probably talking to people behind your back, or suddenly they're very indecisive. Or for some of you, this person said all these things and then boom, they're committed to someone else, right? So this really is just kind of a very frustrating energy. Your person may even have Capricorn in their chart because this looks very familiar to Capricorn's energy in a lot of ways, Aries. Or you might have Capricorn in your own chart as well. Now we do have I wish you'd talk to me. So I know that the feminine, after a period of trying to get over the heartache, you were open to trying to see where this could go with the masculine, right? Masculine came in with, I'm sorry, I hurt you for the past energy. And I feel like that really is what he said to you, right? And because you wanted to have this discussion, you were very open to this. This was kind of a wish fulfilled. But it looks as though you both wanted different things. And it seems like the masculine is very well aware of what the feminine wants. And so it's kind of like if he can wave that carrot in front of her face, it will make her jump through these hoops. And as soon as he's got what he needs out of the equation, this is very much him kind of uprooting a plant before it has an opportunity to grow, right? Becoming very secretive, holding back. And so I'm quite certain with this, something must have come to light about what the masculine was doing. And it's equally frustrating because somebody comes back, apologizes that they hurt you, you let them back in, and then they proceed to literally do exactly what they were just apologizing for, right? Now, at present, for you, feminine, your energy is the Queen of Cups. You're coming through with the Knight of Swords, and I'm tired of chasing you. So I feel like you're healing your heart, right? And you're trying to understand that it's not you, right? This is kind of this person's MO. This is how they operate. They want you in their life 1 minute, and then we have I want you coming out in the reverse, right? And so this is very much the energy of somebody who wants you as long as you're gone, but then when they have you, they really want nothing to do with you. Now we do have quality time at the bottom of the deck. And so it's almost like this person gets overwhelmed if they spend too much time with you, or overwhelmed at the thought of staying in one place. For some of you, like I said, that karmic partner is an issue, but I really feel like this has more to do with the masculine not knowing what he wants and always being on the fence. And because he's a little bit slippery and he's kind of good with his words, he will have the feminine looking like, okay, you said this. And he's like, no, you heard this. I actually said XYZ, and now you're upset for no reason, right? This is kind of a sneaky, slippery energy. So for you, feminine, I feel like for the next, few weeks, starting now and then moving forward, because we're going to look at the forward energy in the future. But sometimes this present energy takes a minute to materialize. You are really in a space of trying to heal your heart, right? You're keeping your emotions to yourself. I feel like you're a little bit wounded by this person, and you're making a decision to cut them out of your life is really what this looks like to me, right? Because you're not willing to keep doing the same thing over and over. Now, I don't want you to blame yourself, because I'm feeling an energy of blame from the feminine, where you're kind of saying, like, I've seen this before. I know how this person operates. Why would I put myself in this situation? Why did I trust them after all these things that have happened, right? But please try not to be hard on yourself. I do see you protecting your heart, because this has been kind of a situation where you feel like you can't do anything about this person's behavior. This person is kind of a super ghost, right? You're now getting into a space where you are taking control of your situation. And that's what I feel like you'll be communicating, if you haven't already, is that you're not doing this with this person, right? Now, your person is coming through with the Six of Swords. And we have the King of Wands in the reverse energy with I want you in my life. So this is probably going to make this person try to reach out to you again, because they only really seem to want you when they can't have you, right? Difficulty about this, though, is the cycle of as soon as they get you, now I don't want you, right? But they're coming through as saying, I didn't know how to love you. And that's in the reverse. So these are things that have not been expressed, right? Shared energy between the two of you is the King of Swords with rendezvous coming out in the reverse. So this is kind of that decision to cut communication, cut contact with the masculine at this time. And I feel like it'll either go one way or the other for you feminine. And it kind of depends on your person's personality. Because in some aspects, your person will pursue you even more. In others, your person will go pursue other people. So let's pull a clarifier for that. All right. Well, regardless of the behavior that gets exhibited, okay, the masculines are all feeling the loss of this connection. They're feeling as though you are their other half. So I guess that's good if they're coming to the realization that that is what this is. But they're also feeling an energy of not knowing how to move forward. And so that's kind of what I was saying. Some masculines may go out and try to party. Other ones might just kind of sit at home and mope. They're thinking a lot about what they've lost, but they're also trying very hard not to think at all, okay? So I think for the King of Swords and the rendezvous in the reverse for the masculine energy, this is them really starting to come to the conclusion that the feminine is not going to reach out. Because I feel like the feminine has always been very receptive of what this masculine is bringing or communicating, whereas now the energy has changed, the dynamic has changed, right? Feminine is ready for something a little more transparent, a little more emotionally available, and she's not chasing after him anymore, right? So it's like he might run, but then when he turns around and sees that she's nowhere to be found, that's when this is really starting to hit home. Now, the blockage between the two of you is the Fool in the reverse and rejection. So here's the issue. This masculine has a real way of rejecting the feminine. Now he's having to face rejection and see what that feels like, because the feminine is no longer in a space of wanting to give to this. It's like you're not falling for the facade of what this could be, right? You're really looking at what's tangible. So this is a new experience for him, because it's almost like the roles have been reversed. And all the things he was doing, like, I want you, I don't want you, I want you, I don't want you. The feminine isn't necessarily playing that game, but she is completely changing the way that she operates, in the sense that it's like, I don't care if you want me or not, I'm not an option, right? And so masculine is now actually in a space of feeling quite foolish about the way he ended things so abruptly, because he's getting kind of a taste of his own medicine. Now, the blockage for the feminine energy is, how does this begin again after you've decided this is not what you want, or after you face so much rejection from your masculine? Is there something that you can do to move the connection forward? And I feel like for the lot of you, you honestly don't even care so much at this point from your perspective, because it's like, I've done everything that there really is to do. It's now time for my masculine to get it together. Now, Six of Swords for him presently, he is thinking about how to move the situation forward, but we still have a huge lack of action because I think he's very much reeling from the rejection that he's feeling at this time. Now, I'm going to take this over to the extended reading to look at your situation for the future in September, your blockage, feelings that you'll both be going through, actions that you'll take, and how that will affect the relationship and each other. And then I'm going to take a look at the advice for how to deal with the blockages that are in this situation. You can stay tuned for the extended reading preview. And if you want to view the entire extended reading, there'll be a link down below for you in the description box. In the meantime, though, you take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye. So he may be coming up with some ideas about how to fix things. We did see that. I'm a little curious though, because for some of you, it looks like by the time he gets it together and gets in gear, you feminine have moved on and committed to someone else. This is almost the energy of like you were trying to hold off on really solidifying something with someone that you kind of thought was nice or that you may be able to have a future with because you were waiting for this person to show you something. It's like, say something, tell me anything, show me you care. I would leave this person, or I would stop talking to this person casually if it meant that I could be with you, right?